we need our Taco Bell. Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm Nikki, and today's video is going to be about my top tips for starting out WW, or just things that worked best for me using the WW program on the Blue Plan. And so I just kind of wrote down a list of things that I wish I would have known before I started, or that I kind of figured out along the way and that really helped me. So I'm hoping that this can help some of you guys who are starting out. I'm so happy to hear that so many people are starting out WW. It's such a great program. It really is. They provide so many tools that help you with your weight loss that in the past, things that were too hard for me, counting calories, tracking things in points, just makes things a lot easier. It really teaches you how to have balance and make a sustainable lifestyle. So before we get into this, if you guys like this video, please go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to my channel. If you're looking for more weight loss tips, I'm really trying to give as much information as I can about things that have helped me lose 65 pounds total. Right now I'm at 65 pounds lost, and I'm still looking to lose another 15 pounds, but I just want to give you all my tips that have helped me. And some things will work for you, some things might not. It's all about the journey and finding what works for you and what is sustainable in your lifestyle. So just remember that while we're going through these tips. Now, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first thing, I kind of just want to go through the app. So with WW, I did the digital plan. With that means I don't have to go in for any meetings. I don't have a coach. I don't have weekly weigh-ins at an actual location. I do them myself. Everything is on the app. It's the cheapest option. I just found that that's what works for me. So with the app, you track all your meals. That's the main thing. That is the main thing that helped me with WW, is tracking my food. There's a ton of other tools in the app, but the tracking is the most important. With the Blue Plan, as of right now, I have 25 points of dailies. With WW, you are allotted a certain amount of daily points. Those are like your main points that you pretty much want to hit those points every day. You can obviously go over, you can obviously go under. You also get an allotted number of weekly points. And those are kind of like your bonus points. Those you're also allowed to eat in the week. So you can eat your dailies each day, and then your weeklies are a bank of points that if you say you don't eat all your points in a day, they actually roll over into your weeklies, so you can eat them later in the week, which I did that sometimes as well. That is the main point system. On the Blue Plan, I want to say I started out with 36 dailies and 42 weeklies, and now I'm currently at 25 dailies. Honestly, I find that that's still a pretty good amount of points for me. I thought I'd start to get hungrier as I went lower and lower, but I still eat a lot of 0-point foods. So the first thing I want to talk about is tracking and how you decide to track. When I first started out WW, I tracked literally everything that I put into my mouth. I was very strict about it for at least the first month, maybe even 2 months, because if I was going to put in the effort to track and use the WW app, I was gonna do it right. I think this really taught me right away how to eat when I'm hungry, not really eat when I'm bored or when I'm emotional or thirsty. It's really important that you track the way that's best for you. I worked in a bakery where if there would be old product that would get sent back, we had donuts that would just be sitting there. So it's so easy to just walk by and snack on these things throughout the day. But when I started WW, I kept in mind, like, if I take a bite of that donut, I have to track it. And I really realized like how much pointless just eating I was doing. I didn't even want the food half the time. I wasn't even hungry. It was just like, cause it was there. That really just helped me with seeing what I wanted to actually eat, what was worth it to eat, because I had to track every bite. So now I'm not like that at all. I have really learned to kind of have a balance and really know how many points certain things are that I'm eating. So if I'm snacking on something, I really know about how much I'm eating. I still track every meal and every like snack I'm going to eat. There's just certain things I choose not to. So like sauces, I really don't track those anymore unless I'm having like a good amount that it's enough points that it's like noticeable. But usually the sauces I'm using are 1 to 2 smart points per serving. To me, I just keep in mind that I'm not tracking them and kind of take them mentally out of my weeklies. Same with like nuts. Every once in a while I'll grab a handful of trail mix or a handful of cashews or pistachios, and those are high point because they're high fat, but it's good fats. Those kind of things, it's worked for me that I don't track them anymore. But you need to find what works for you. If you have to track everything you eat, then do it, because it's going to work for you. And I think that consistent tracking really helps you develop these habits, because you're constantly scanning the same foods over and over again. I was still scanning the tortillas every single day that I would eat. Obviously now I know that it's 1 smart point for a tortilla, 2 2 smart points for a tortilla, so I know what I'm eating when I eat them. You just have to make sure that you track in a way that works best for you, that will help you stay consistent. That kind of goes into the next thing I want to talk about, and that is using your weekly points. I feel like people get scared to use their weeklies when they're on WW because it seems like it's just like extra points. It's so important that you use your weeklies because you do need to make sure that you are not keeping yourself from getting the amount of calories you need in a day. If you're not using your weeklies, you're not going to be getting enough food. You aren't. You have to remember that those are there to help you. And honestly, the weeks I found that I even went sometimes over my weeklies, like I would have 1 or 2 meals, say we would eat out at a restaurant, or we would just have something at home that isn't the healthiest, maybe 20, 30 point meal. Those were the weeks that I lost the most weight. I don't know if that's coincidental. I really think it has to do with building up your metabolism, because even now I am eating more food than I did before I started losing weight. From the beginning of WW, I've been eating more food than when I was heavier. It's just crazy to me that the weeks that I would eat my weeklies and mix things up, I was kind of tricking my body and boosting my metabolism. I definitely saw the effects of that. So I highly recommend that you guys use your weeklies. Don't be scared of your weeklies. Use your weeklies. Even if you have to mentally do it like I do. It'll take time in the beginning, but you'll start to adjust and see what works best for you. And when you start seeing results, it'll work even better. Trust me. Make sure you're staying hydrated. That's important too. The next thing I want to talk about is just more specifically going into the app and really using some of the tools in the app to improve your weight loss. One thing, and Adam and I had a lot of fun with this when we first got WW, there's an option in the WW app. On the home page, you're going to want to scroll down to the bottom and you'll see that there's a restaurants tab, and you're going to click into that, and you can either search by smart points, which I never really did that unless you're looking for like low point options, which is helpful, but I usually would click into the restaurant name, and then you can go ahead and search, and they have a good amount of restaurants on here. One place that we ate a lot still, even after we started WW, was Taco Bell, because I couldn't get rid of Taco Bell. I love Taco Bell. And it just came down to kind of changing what we were eating from there, because there's still some good options, low point options, when honestly it's a long night or a long day and I just don't have time to make a meal. I don't feel like making a meal. We can run out to Taco Bell and get this. Obviously, it's not the best thing, but let's be real. We're human. We need our nights off from cooking. What we did in the beginning is we would look at previous meals we were eating. This was so eye-opening to us. We would eat a meal from Steak and Shake that seemed like nothing. Like it almost was like a snack to us, and it was over 80 points. 80 points, and I'm allowed 25 points in a day right now. So again, that's something I could have maybe one day, and that would be like kind of my higher point meal of the week, very high point meal of the week, but we were doing that multiple times a week. And so that is where it was all adding up. And it just really helped to use the restaurant tab in here to kind of get an idea of what we were eating and how many points we were eating before. But also it helps you to find ideas if you are eating out. Sometimes you're traveling and you have to stop somewhere. It's easy to just know what your options are. And like I said, it's not bad to eat out. I still eat out a good amount from places. Another thing that is useful in the app, if you scroll down and right above the restaurants tab, there's a recipes tab. In there's actually a lot of good WW recipes that WW posts on there or others have submitted, and that's kind of cool just to get some different meal ideas, but you can also build your own recipe. So when you do that, you just want to click into recipes, scroll down a little bit, and it says create a recipe. Now with that, you're just going to enter the recipe name, how many serving sizes it makes, and then you add the ingredients. And what I find helpful is sometimes I don't always have a recipe for a meal, but I kind of want to track it as the recipe. So what I'll do is as I'm making it, I'll name the recipe, I'll scan the different ingredients, throw out all these ingredients that I scanned in the pot, dish it out into containers, and then the 2 servings that we're going to eat that night, however many servings it makes, then I edit it into the recipe, and then it'll divide the points for you to give you how much each serving is. And I just find that really helpful. It's just another cool tool. Another thing I want to talk about within the WW app is wins. This is something kind of small. It's not really a big thing to focus on, but it's just a little bit of extra motivation that honestly was something that kind of pushed me to stay on track with tracking. What you do is you can collect wins through scanning your meals. So each meal will be like 5 points. And then you can also get points for tracking like 3 breakfasts in a row. You get a 10-point bonus. And you also get 25 wellness wins for every weekly weigh-in. So I made sure to never miss a weekly weigh-in. With the wellness wins, they convert to prizes. It'll tell you how many wins you have, and then you can click browse rewards, and from there it'll show you all your different options. There's like 3 different tiers of point levels that you can choose from. It's just a little bonus that I wanted to mention. Another thing, and honestly, I'm not sure. Some people receive them and some don't with the digital program. I don't know if it depends on what state you live in. I really don't know what it depends on. If you do get this, I think this is the coolest thing. I love getting mail. So receiving this in the mail was something that was just really exciting. What they do with WW is you'll get a little card in the mail when you hit certain milestones. So this was the first one I got for hitting my 5 pounds down. And with each of these little cards, you also get a little charm. And it's just, I don't know, it's a cute little thing that is, it's really exciting when you get it in the mail because like right here on this chain, I have 5 pounds, 10 pounds, 25 pounds, and 50 pounds. So like receiving that, how? Like I still look at this and I'm just like, how did I do it? It just feels really good. I hope it helps you. One thing I want to talk about is trusting portion sizes. The way I like to track is I really did like to weigh out my food. I like to track as many things in grams as I could. Not so much snacks because those I would just count up by like chip and that worked for me. When it came to meat and cheese and rice, I really like to weigh them out. Anything that isn't already pre-portioned. But I just got this cheap kitchen scale. I want to say I got it at Walmart or Target. It just really helps you stay in your portions. What I mean when I say trust your portion sizes is before I started my WW journey, my portion sizes were way too big. And when I started WW, I was worried that I was going to be hungry all the time. I was worried that if I followed these portion sizes, like it was just not going to be enough for me. You can always go back for more if you are still hungry and you realize you're still hungry. A lot of times I would put the food on the plate and think like, this is not going to fill me. I'm going to be hungry after. This is not like the serving size I usually eat. But I would leave it at that. I would go eat my meal, drink a glass of water with it, and then realize like, okay, I'm actually content. I'm actually full. A lot of times I would actually be full and not even be able to like finish. But before, when I had that food in front of me, I would just like force myself to eat it. Really sticking to accurate portion sizes is huge, and trusting that they're gonna fill you is huge because you can always go back for more if you want. You'll realize that portion sizes are actually enough. The next tip I want to talk about with starting WW is taking progress pictures. And I kind of mentioned this in my How I Lost 50 Pounds video, but I just wanted to go more into detail about, first of all, starting out, you want to make sure that you do it right away because you will be so happy you have those pictures when you have made the progress you are going to make. You're going to be so excited to look back and see these changes. It really is so much better than measuring it on the scale, I promise you. You're seeing changes, so many different things that you see in a picture that maybe you don't always feel along the journey or that you don't see when you're weighing on the scale. I would take them actually pretty much every weigh-in day, if not every other weigh-in day. So that's either once a week or once every other week. Use progress pictures as a tool for your journey, but don't get caught up on them and don't compare yourself to other people and their progress pictures because like even mine, I'm 6 feet tall. So like I am maybe more evenly distributed than if I were 5 feet tall. So if a 5-foot person is looking at my pictures and feeling bad because they're not seeing the results that I have, you just can't compare to other people's progress pictures. It is important to use yours as a tool for yourself. Of course, like look at other people's progress pictures. That seriously motivated me more than anything. But you just have to remember when you're looking at these progress pictures, not to compare yourself and to just use them as motivation because seeing that other people can do it, it just proves that you can do it too because you can. Don't be hard on yourself. Everybody's different. Everybody's journey is different, but use it as some motivation because other people are kicking butt. You can kick butt too. The most important thing that I want you guys to get out of this video is that on the WW program with weight loss, you have to do what is going to work in your lifestyle, what is possible for you. If you do something that works for someone else and you're not seeing the results, you can't get down about it because everybody's different. You have to find what works best for you. And even like Adam and I have it a little different where I work from home now, but he goes into work. He has to kind of adjust and plan out his day of food in the morning, and he actually pre-tracks everything. he'll take a bag and he'll make his sandwich, grab all his fruit and snacks and everything that he's going to be eating throughout the day, because he pretty much has breakfast, lunch, and then like a pre-dinner snack and snacks throughout the day there. That's a lot different than what I do. I don't pre-track my food for the day. I can make my food at home. I track it as I go. It's very different for us, but that's what works for each of us because that's what our schedule is. You'll find what works for you. I'm telling you, just staying consistent for that first month is huge, because then you will start to actually see the results. And when you start seeing results, it is the most motivating thing. The hardest part is getting started, learning what works for you, getting in a routine. You just have to make it sustainable with your lifestyle and you will see success. That is a wrap. Those are my top tips for using the WW program. Really use your resources. Take advantage of the tools that are in front of you. Even if you're just signing up for the digital WW like I did, there's still a lot of good resources in that app that really helped me on my weight loss journey. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you found something helpful in this video, starting your WW or your weight loss journey. The WW program really does work. You just have to be honest with yourself. You have to do it for yourself, because obviously no one's gonna yell at you if you don't track, but you're not gonna see the results if you don't track. So you have to know for yourself that you have to do the tracking. It is a lot of self-motivation and it's not easy, but it is very possible and you have the tools in front of you to do it, so why not? Thank you guys again for watching. If you guys have any other questions about WW, please feel free to leave them in the comments. I'd love to give any other information I can. If there's any other videos you'd like to see, I'd love to hear those ideas as well. Please like this video and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Have a great day.